punt this time.
So we're going live again for the second time. Thanks, Gilly, man.
Deja vu, this.
100% deja vu. So we may as well do the whole lot from the back end anyway. We're going to just chat about the game today, and I'm joined by Mad Adam, like I previously said. So, Adam, I'll see you in about 30 seconds, yeah?
See you in 30.
All right, Adam. How's it going, man? It's good to see you.
Good. How are you?
All there for the last couple of weeks. Where have you been, man?
I've been here, there, and everywhere. No, I've had some technical issues. The laptop nearly went to the laptop heaven, but it's been resurrected.
All right, so
Bamford and Ayling, so we're back. We're back in full flow, back in the game.
Back in the game, are you?
Missed you all.
For the second time tonight, you're back in the game. Yeah. Nice. Gilly, if you want to join in, man, feel free. Just give us a heads up as to what the fuck you're doing. So, Adam, we'll get into the game again for the second time tonight. What was your initial thoughts on, the game as a whole, but particularly the first half, second half type scenario?
Yeah, I thought first half was... we were quite dominant, I thought, and we could have put game to bed, and we should have been more creative. I thought delivery into the box from both teams was absolutely appalling in the first half. Final third was really, really lacking. I think looking back on it now, starting Dan James up front against three big centre backs, it just limits you to one way of playing, which became more and more evident as the first half went on. But thought we controlled midfield. I thought did really well. Thought Calvin was brilliant. Forshaw again, he's just so assured on ball, and he just keeps it all sort of ticking over. He's like the glue in that midfield that we've missed. And I thought we were good. I thought first half were good. Second half, what can you say? Two scrappy goals to concede, really. Two poor goals to concede from our perspective. But we live and learn, and that's all there is to it, really. Isn't it? Like, the injuries took the toll. I thought, if Coops is on pitch, they don't score that second goal, in my opinion, because as good as Llorente is as a centre back, he's not a leader. And you see when Cooper's not there, the organisation of that back four is a little bit off. So for all these critics and all these faults that Cooper might have, I think he does. I thought if he were on, we wouldn't have conceded that second goal. But other than that, it's fucking Brentford, isn't it? It's point. If you'd have said to me at the start of the week, get 4 points from Palace and Brentford, I'd have took it at the start of the week. So all good.
I kind of felt going on our first half performance, it's 2 points lost rather than a point gained. I thought that you're right when you said that when Cooper went off, that second goal, they don't get that goal. They don't. It's as simple as that. And like you said, even though Cooper has had his critics over the last couple of months, or, well, what's it like, about 7 years or something? Yeah. He has grown into a good centre back. Yeah. He has. There's no doubt about it. He's starting for Scotland now. He's an international centre back, regardless of whether you think, he only plays for Scotland or whatnot. He's an international recognised centre back now at this stage. And you're right, we did miss him when he went off, and I don't think they score that goal unless if he's on the pitch, they don't score that goal.
Yeah, simple as that. And I think as well, when Calvin went off, I made a comment to Caitlin earlier that when watching it in the first half, it just looked like Calvin was there to babysit Firpo. If you look at where Calvin was, the whole first half, he was pretty much within 10 yards of Firpo the whole time. And then when Calvin went off, I think it was 3-4 minutes after Calvin goes off, they score the second. And if you look, Firpo gets megged twice in the build up to that goal.
Right,
so, obviously seeing, I watched it from home, so I can have the beauty of replays and that. And I know some you guys have been at the game, but yeah, that organisation was lacking after Calvin and especially Cooper went.
Yeah, the one thing I noticed when Cooper went off, the organisation took far too long to kind of get back into shape. At one point, I noticed there was Calvin playing at centre back, and then we were looking at Calvin going, right, you need to push out. We're putting Ayling in there, and then Dallas. It just took too long.
Well, I don't know if you've seen it, Carl. Originally, Click was about to come on.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. Yeah.
So when you say about it took too long to get organised, I don't think anybody knew what the fuck was happening.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
And that came from the bench as well. So that was really poor from Leeds today. Actually, thinking about that.
Like at one point, it looked like Cresswell was coming on. Once Cooper kind of went down, Cresswell was off. And from my point of view in the South Stand, he was literally he was doing a proper warm up, like he was coming on. And for me, logically, that would have been the best kind of substitution to make. Because, let's be honest, Cresswell played against Wolves. It was Wolves he played the full game. West Ham, even better. They're a harder opposition than Wolves are, and he more than proved that he's able to do what he needs to do in that centre back position. I thought, I'd never questioned what Bielsa does or whatever like that, but I think at that point, it should have been like for like. If we've got a like for like on the bench, you bring it on. If for instance, if Struijk wasn't injured, Struijk would have been straight on at centre back, like for like.
Yeah.
But it brings into question how much confidence Bielsa potentially has in the kids now. Let's be honest, because if he had that full on, I trust every young fella that I'm going to bring on here, he'd have brought him on straight away, and we wouldn't have had that confusion, I think.
Yeah, but I think with each passing week that we're not getting the wins, it's going to be harder for the youngsters to get a go now. You look at the bench. The bench for the first time, I thought today looked reasonably good. You've got the bench started with Rodrigo, Bamford was on there, obviously Click was on there, but then you've got Somerville, Gellart, Creswell, Jenkins. It's going to be hard for the young ones now to get a good run, because every week that we're not picking up 3 points and we're dropping points, like you said, it's 2 points lost really. I was celebrating like we fucking won, because we got that 95th minute equaliser. But the long and short of it is we shouldn't be celebrating a 95th minute equaliser against Brentford. We shouldn't be in this position. So there we go.
Well, the way I look at it as well is if you're putting the likes of Cresswell as a centre back on the bench, you're not putting him on there because you're trying to make up the numbers. You're putting him on there because he's capable of doing a job. Why alter the shape of the team? It took nearly 6-7 minutes before, between what you just said there, Click was warming up, ready to come on. Between that and who came on instead of him, it was Harrison.
Harrison.
Yeah. Well, you're not making a positive, change in that respect, because if you're making a positive change, you bring on a centre back for a centre back. In any normal team, that's the way it'd be like.
Yeah.
So
it just shows, doesn't it? I think it was good. I was a bit perplexed by it at the time, but looking at it, Ayling got a full 90 out of it. Do you know what I mean? Obviously Coops would have come off. You put Cresswell on. Do you lose that? Do the players have as much confidence in attacking the way that we'd like to with Llorente and Cresswell at the back? It's a very, very untested centre-back pairing. Llorente is a fucking madhead at the best of times. And do you know what I mean? And then you've got Cresswell, a bit young. So I can see it, but only just see it. I am with you on that. I think we should have probably brought him on.
It's a very kind of I'm set on the fence for that, like, because like if you have Cresswell there, then it's a like for me. Like there's no there's no two ways about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like Michael Brown here, he's saying Fawshaw's contract runs out at the end of the season. Would you offer him a new contract if he overcomes his injury issues for the remainder of the season? I'm saying yeah.
No brainer.
It's an absolute no brainer. Like,
yeah, 2-year deal done.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, because quite simply, the way we've been shored up in midfield since he's come back in, like we were raving about Fawshaw up until his injury when we were in the championship, and we were like, without him, him and Calvin in the middle of the field, we don't have an awful lot going operating in the forward kind of passes. Like, even though people slagged him off for being, he passes backwards and he this and that, like, you know what I mean? But we've got a comment here from Bremner's Ghost. It's definitely be at least a 2-year contract.
I think that's going back to Michael Brown's comment about whether we give Forshaw a new contract, and I'm glad that Bremner's Ghost agrees with me about a 2-year deal.
Yeah.
I think I didn't. It's one of those things. I think, was it Bielsa's first training session? He was asked who the most important player to Leeds, and he said it was Forshaw. And he's just people can slag him off for passing backwards. We never slagged Batty off every time Batty went backwards, and Batty went backwards all the fucking time. So he just gives us such a decent platform to build on. So for me, he's 2-year deal. I don't think he's worthy. I don't think anybody in that, any of the players other than Raf, Melier, and Calvin are worthy of anything more than a 2-year deal at any point.
At the moment, yeah. I think you're right, yeah.
Certainly for Forshaw, get him signed up. He's proved he's got the bollocks to go away, work hard to get back to fitness, and he looks fit when he's playing. He doesn't look like he's gonna come off at any point. He just looks solid now, I think, and I think he's really, I think he's gonna be a vital part to where we play, which pisses a lot of people off, because after the Rad's comment on Twitter about the new midfielder and stuff like that, I know it bores everyone pissed, but listen, Rad's obviously fucking sees more than what we see, so trust the process.
This is the thing, trust the process, like, but can you say he got a bit lucky there with that whole Forshaw comment, like,
100%.
Because like he wasn't to know that Forshaw would come back and not get injured really quickly either, like, you know what I mean? That's putting your balls pretty close to an electric fence and hoping it doesn't shock you, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It
could have backfired.
It could have burnt the bollocks clean off him, like, I've been perfectly honest. One thing I wanted to bring up though was this comment from Bremner's Ghost.
Yeah.
Have you lads seen Victor raging at the end of the match? I saw it on the way home.
Yeah.
I'd be perfectly honest with you. He's every Leeds fan when Brentford were wasting time tonight, like, I'm not going to lie, but I have absolutely no idea why it was the case.
Yeah,
but if anyone knows why Victor was absolutely losing his shit there, please let us know.
Yeah, I reckon it was probably because Jay was shouting in the stand or something, and he was shit, some nonsense.
I'd be honest with you, Jay is trouble for the pod, man. There's no other way about it. Like, there's no way about it. Jay just needs to get his act together. Like,
positive Jay, that's what we need. But I don't know the context behind it. But he certainly didn't look fucking happy, did he?
No, he didn't look happy. To be fair, like it seemed like we know Victor's a bit hot-headed, and it's the reason we've named our pod after him, because we're all a bit hot-headed on this pod as well. Yeah, speak for yourself. Yeah. But it's like, the way the away fans get at the home fans, and they just rise us, and we rise them, but they rise us as well. Maybe someone from the Brentford hierarchy kind of commented on something, and Victor thought, "Fuck you, then I'm not having any of that."
I think if anything.
All right, Jay.
Yes. Yeah. There you go. I think.
Yeah.
I think Victor, you're probably right, and you touched on it there, Carl. I think Victor was probably just fucking furious and giving it to Brentford board more than anything because they were. I've not seen it like that for a long time, where a team are just so deliberate in what they were doing. It took it took gamesmanship to a fucking new level. They were really, really poor today. I thought the conduct of the players was really shit. But that said, and I'm gonna sit on the fence here. We did get fucking lucky because somebody launched something at Canos' head, and he deserves it because he's a dick. But we can't. Yeah, they were being knobheads, but we can't be throwing missiles at fucking players. Like what? Whoever did that, you're a knobhead, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
and I'll happily tell you that to your face in pub and all. You can't be doing that. The club works so hard at changing how football fans are perceived and how Leeds fans are perceived, and you just get some scrotum who throws a fucking missile at a footballer's head. Like, just get over yourself, man.
Yeah, no, you're right there, man. Like the thing is, like we didn't need to launch anything at anyone's head for them to be classed as time wasting assholes, man. They were doing that all on their own. Like, let's be honest, that keeper, he's lucky. Like, if that was a Sunday league game, he'd have probably got marched off by one of the supporters and gone, "Here, sunshine, you need to sort your shit out." Like, that was awful bad. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like that, there was at one point he literally caught the ball with no one around him, and he fell to the ground and he stayed there.
Yeah.
And the ref even went, "I'm going like this," yeah.
But
and
he didn't.
Still lay there.
Yeah, but the ref didn't. The ref had no control of that game. The ref was really poor today, I thought.
He didn't punish them for time wasting at all. He could have booked about 6 or 7 of them in the first half alone, and they weren't even 1-0 up. It was fucking retarded. Like, I just honestly, like, I think that we had an option on the main pod during the week of, is the pitch at Ellen Road, still pretty bad, or are teams just doing it to time waste? And I'm sorry, like, they're time wasting, like.
Yeah.
Like
you'll know it as well as I do, like, and I'm sure everybody will agree with this. Like, if you're a team that plays such intensity like that we do, sometimes the only way to catch a break is to time waste, is to fake injury, is to dive, is to do that. And if this is the way we play, we're 100 miles per hour all the time. So players are going to do it because they're fucked, they're gassed, so they need to have a break, and it slows the game down. We lose all momentum because we're so, we're constantly saying, "Oh, plan A," and we just do the same shit over and over and over again. If you look at the way that our attacking movement, the same process all the time. So we have to go back to square one. So for a dickhead like the Brentford keeper to hold on to the ball for 10 seconds and slow the game right down, that is the most effective way to deal with Leeds United. So it's not to do with pitch. It's just clubs.
Oh, no. I know it's nothing to do with the pitch, but it was meant in a sarcastic kind of manner as well, because they all seem to be falling over and getting free kicks when clearly our pitch isn't the problem this season because we didn't buy it off Spurs. You know what I mean? It's this is the thing. We ploughed our own money into it this season, so we know it's primo. Like,
that's it. Talking of dodgy purchases, we got lucky with Firpo not giving a penalty away.
I didn't really keep an eye. I like, from my end, I couldn't really see it. Like,
yeah, could have. If that would have been other way, I'd have been fucking furious. It could have been a penalty. Should have been.
Really? What was it that bad? Like,
just he's players backed into him, arms around him, with VAR. Like, if they'd have given it, you can't argue it. It would have been. It'd have been soft, but it definitely it should have given the referee something to look at. So that's what I mean about the referee not having any control of that game. He was shit.
Well, like, with that in mind, like, why, if it was that clear and obvious in your mind by watching it on TV, how come VAR didn't have a look at it?
No idea. I have no idea about it because it certainly looked like they should have had a look at it. So I think we got away with one. And if anybody's watching this who disagrees with me, please feel free to call me out on it. But it did look a little bit dodgy at me. Well,
but if it was that dodgy, surely the ref would have had a look at it. Like,
well, yeah, he didn't get flagged by VAR. But if you look at it, I'll implore everybody to have a look at it tonight and see what they think and make their own decisions. But it certainly looked like his arms were around. I can't remember the Brentford player, but he certainly looked a little bit on the edge for me. But even though we got away with it, my point is that's an international left back. It's he's come from some good clubs. He shouldn't be getting turned and making mistakes and even giving the even putting that up to chance. So jury's still out from that. I know Firpo's had a couple of good games recently, but jury's still massively out for me on him.
Yeah, like I'll be honest. I watched the game back against Crystal Palace. I watched it back on Amazon Prime there only yesterday, and like I understand from a perspective of a fan that watches it on TV and watches it on in the stadium. I thought watching it on TV, Firpo had a far better game, bar a couple of misdemeanors, than he did when you're watching it live in the stand in the stadium. I think, like, there wasn't a lot that he did wrong. There was a few bits, like obviously that free kick on the edge of the box against Palace where he got booked, and one or two passes inside that went astray. But apart from that, he got forward and he played quite well, and I think that he showed glimpses of that again tonight. Now, you're not wrong in saying he needs a lot of work, he needs a bit of a break, but I also think that the fact that he's the only left back that we have, there's no pressure on him to get better quickly.
Yep.
And I think if we'd have kept, like, I'm not saying we needed to, but maybe offer Alioski that 2-year contract where the two of them are,
competition,
bit of competition for place.
Yeah.
Just give Alioski a 2-year contract. Don't give him the 3 or 4 year one that he wants. Just give him 2-year at a close to the price that he wanted, and it kind of gives Firpo that incentive to want to be better and get better quicker, because he did mention when he was at Barcelona that he was lacking in confidence. But if you've got someone in front of you who's been there for 3 years, knows the system, knows everything, knows what's expected, then you learn quicker and you understand quicker where the standard you have to be at, and that could have done him the world of good. But we're in a position now where we don't have Firpo with competition, and I think that's a big deal. Like, regardless of how well he's played, I think it's a big deal.
Yeah, and I think you're right, and I think. Yeah, I mean, I can't really say any more on that, mate. You've nailed it with that. Lack of competitions is a worry. When you're having to play a strike at left back, it says a lot, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? And he's done a great job when he did play left back. I know Gilly's not his biggest fan, but I think he's whenever he's not played at centre back, I know defensive midfield he's not great, but I think when he's played left back and he's played in a back four, he's always looked quite solid. But there you go. Here we are.
Yeah, well, that's it. I think, like, you know what I mean. And look, at the end of the day, I don't think it was the worst performance today overall. First half was definitely much better than the second, and I don't think we should have lost that game. But I think at the end of the day, we'll take a point. We're a point better off than we are a point less, and that's the way we got to look at it, I think.
Yeah, as I said, mate, start of the week, if you'd have said 4 points from Palace and Brentford, I'd have took it. Do you know what I mean? Especially with the way results have gone around us, I think I think we've done all right, really. But you're right. We should have put the game to bed. And I think if we didn't have the injuries at the time that we had, I think Bamford would probably have been on a little bit earlier. I don't, and I certainly don't think we'd have seen Harrison. Because I don't know what's going on there, but again, I thought today he was particularly bad when he came on. It's the same, we say about the process, same thing over and over again. It's if he's on the left, he gets it on his right foot, cuts inside 5 yards, and then goes backwards because he's fucking run out of ideas.
Yeah. But we're not doing what we did last year, where we get to the byline and we cut it back. We're getting to the byline and then we turn and then we look for an out ball on the wing or whatever. We just need it. Once we get to that byline, just fucking whack it in the box.
Ping it.
Just absolutely hammer it along the ground. Defenders hate when a ball is whacked in along the ground like that. I know that myself. Like, you fucking hate it. Like, so you're as well to just, once you get to the byline, just absolutely leather it. Regardless of whether we have players in the 6-yard box or along the penalty spot, leather it. Just leather it. Because as a defender, the one thing you want is a high ball in the box so that you can clear it or your goalkeeper can claim it. Mm-hmm. If it's along the ground and you're a clumsy centre back, you fucking hate
like Janssen or Pinnock. Yeah. Like Pontus Janssen or Pinnock or that other lad they had at the back today. They were all fucking massive and
they were all huge. And we were putting balls into Dan James. It's like, fuck me, lads. Come on. I'm not even a good football coach, and I can tell you that that's not going to work. Like, it's not going to work.
I mean, just common sense tells you that a 5'4" lad ain't going to be a 6'4" lad in the air. But what do we know?
Well, this is the other side of the coin, like, you know what I mean? And I think Jay might be coming on now to join us in a second.
What a treat.
Yeah, well, like he said he was going to be 10 seconds. And Jay, how's it going? You all right?
Mate, I'm knackered. I've just run up the hill from the car.
Have you? Where's Carl gone?
Already?
What have you done to Carl?
No, he's jumped out. He was busting for Lou.
Okay. Don't give away.
I've come to cover him. Right. I've got a KFC going cold over there for this lad. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to have to microwave the fucker.
That's commitment to the cause, is that? How are you? What do you think of it?
Some good points there from you boys. I don't for the last 5 minutes because I've been running up the fucking hill from the car. Where are we at, Adam? What we're saying?
We're just talking about Jack Harrison basically, and then we were mentioning the when you get to the byline, how important it is to just put the ball low and hard rather than try to cross it when you've got 3 centre backs above 6 foot and a 5'4" centre forward who's not a centre forward. But I thought Dan James looked bad today. He looked good.
You thought what?
I thought he put himself about quite well, James. I thought.
He did all right, did James? He did all right, but it were annoying today. Like, it wasn't just him; it were both the wingers. Like, the final ball was shit
all game long. Yeah. I don't know whose internet's terrible, so if you can hear this, it's not mine. But if you can hear,
I can still hear you. I don't know. Even on my screen, I just went off. Then I don't know what's going on. Obviously, been sabotaged. Probably Luke is probably outside chewing cables. 100%. But yeah, I mean, the crosses and stuff that he was doing against Palace were a lot better. And today, it just wasn't there. But he was he's growing into his role, and he's starting to look like a Bielsa player. I'm quite impressed with James overall. I know some people don't like him, but I think he's done well. And I would certainly rather see James playing than Costa. Do you know what I mean? If it was one or the other, there's no fucking. There's not even a question for me that.
No.
Here he is. You've combed your hair and everything. You didn't look like that when I saw you earlier when you were banging that pie and peas down or whatever it was.
It's curry chips, man.
So, how good was it to see Bamford back on the pitch?
Oh, do you know what? I just said it in the group, but that goal, it felt like a winner. Because we were just all so... Oh, mate. We'd all give up at that point. We'd all just accepted that we'd blown it again, fucked it, and then fucking Paddy appears and knees a ball into goal. Just, it were awesome. And big shout out to Melier, proper pleading with Bielsa to let him go up for corner. Because he said no at first, I'm sure he did. And it was just like, he had his arms up and he's going, just let me go, just let me go. And he's like, all right then. And he's up there. I love him, mate. Fucking Terminator, that lad. Ice cold.
Well, what's that? So he's the youngest goalkeeper in Premier League history now to reach 50 appearances.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
So he's beat Joe Hart's record, yeah. So
that's two Joe Hart records he's broken in 2 seasons then.
Yeah.
We know how good Joe Hart went on to be.
Yeah, which you see, the thing is, like, at least we know Meslier can fucking play the ball out. Like,
yeah, exactly. Do you know when he receives the ball,
his distribution is dog shit.
It's only been dog shit for the last couple of games, man. You know this, man.
He's pretty good normally.
It's been pretty good apart from that, like.
He's been
can ping a ball out. It can ping a ball out at wing, no problem. But when the whole team's playing shit, everyone's gonna fuck up out there.
Yeah.
Listen, I reckon if you go back and watch maybe we'll have stats about this one, but I guarantee I will. Do you know what? I will. You boys can think of a suitable punishment if I'm wrong on this, but his ball from the to the wings, I reckon he's less than 75% accuracy this season. I think he's been absolutely awful. So stats, if you're listening, mate, if you can work that out for us, I'll be eternally grateful. Obviously, don't worry about it too much. But yeah, I think his distribution's been shit this season.
Nobody follows through with the punishments on this podcast, though, Adam, because we're still waiting for Luke to get Stuart Dallas tattooed on his head.
Oh yeah,
not letting that one go yet.
Never, mate. Never. I'll cling to what I've got against that fucker, and he knows it.
There you go. Bad brothers as well.
Yeah.
So, there's a comment for you, boys. I'm all for that. I am all for that. Adam doing the one-chip challenge.
Yeah, no worries. I'm not wrong with that.
You don't look nervous at all. You're just like, yeah, fine, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Easy. Who's done it so far? I know Gaz has done it, and then Gilly did it as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
I set his countdown off from his one-chip challenge during a B&C when I didn't know what was going on. They were pressing wrong buttons. Just like, that's not the thing that I meant to press, but, the show goes on and all that.
There you go, boys. If I'm wrong, I'll do the one-chip challenge. No problem.
How about you, even if you're not wrong, you do it? Because it's got to be a lot harder for a redhead to do that kind of chip challenge than it is anyone else. Like, your face is already red, man. Imagine what it would be like if you do that fucking thing. Your whole head would just explode.
Cal just wants to see you like a sweaty mess in a meltdown.
Essentially, yeah. It's like when you're watching ice cream melt in the sun. That's what Adam's head is like.
Right? Do you know what? I'll tell you what. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Here we go. If in December, if we get more than 4 points out of our next I know starts put up 5 games.
5 games. Yeah.
I mean, we're beating Arsenal and we're beating Villa, so you've had it.
We're not. I'll do the one-chip challenge if we get less than 4 points.
There you go, people. You've heard it. You've heard it here.
Right,
Adam's going to do it.
Right, so if we get more than 5 points, are you willing to do a 2-chip challenge?
No.
It's like, that's testing your cojones there, like, as a ginger man. Like.
What? Can I eat them both at the same time?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Double helpings.
I was thinking about it now. You see, this is the thing. Ooh.
It doesn't take much though, does it? For him, he's unhinged. He just bad stuff.
I'll tell you what.
You just have to point him in the right direction. He'll do the rest.
If we get more than 6, I'll do 2. There you go.
Sweet.
Oh, there we go. We're going to get Liam Cooper on this.
You have witnessed this live, and I know there's 80 watching us now anyway. So
you need to get Click on this, Carl. He'll sort it. He'll make sure the points come.
No, Jesus Christ! Let's just go with whatever we can go with. If we don't get, he's gonna lose this bet. Like, we know this.
We're not going to get 6 points.
I'm telling you now, Adam. Because we're expecting nothing means we'll do really well.
Yeah.
Because all the games where we expect to win, we either lose or draw. So
he's not wrong, Adam. Like, let's be honest, he's not wrong.
It's Leeds. There'll be an outrageous result somewhere that we shouldn't get, that we've got no right to get, and we'll do it.
We'll see.
Can't wait.
How about if I'm right, then you two fuckers do it.
Fucking hell! I only jumped on to help you two out. Why do I have to get drawn in?
So if I'm right, and I don't have to do it, then you two should do it for bringing this up.
Right. So if we don't get more than 5 points in the next 6 games.
6. No. So
No, you said 5.
no, I said 6.
You said 5. No, Sunshine. You said 5. We can play this back later, and we can, you said 5.
And if I'm wrong, you have to do 3.
Get fucked.
Fuck off.
No way. I'll do 1.
Do you know? I don't want to do it at all, Adam. But
Man up,
because we've pushed you into yours. Then fine. If it goes the other way, I'll do it along with Carl.
There you go.
Fat boy has to do it as well.
You better get more than 5 points in the next couple of games.
Better do, because if I don't, I'll be down at fucking training with a megaphone, fucking G'ing the bastards up.
And I'm not eating no mint ice cream, Gaz. I don't care what fucking recommendations you give mint ice cream. It's not happening.
If I have to do it, I'll just do it. I won't be eating out else. I'll just do it.
Can we stop incriminating ourselves here now as well, and just maybe go back to the fucking game at hand?
Let's move on. Let's move on.
Anyway,
we got a comment from Michael Brown in the comments. I don't know whether I want to bring it up or not because it's something we didn't mention on the main pod. Do we go there?
Go on.
Now,
I saw
regarding this. My overriding feeling with this is that it was football banter. It wasn't anybody being serious and being nasty. It was football banter. I can understand. Because I can understand how people may take it badly because it could be seen as trivializing something that is actually important, and I get that 100%. I think it's something that, as a fan base, probably just need to draw a line under and say, do you know what? People are having a bit of banter. They may have been wrong with that, but they probably didn't intend it to be a horrible thing. But at the same time, we can understand why people would take it badly. And I think that is it for that, personally.
It's a fucking good question, though, from Michael. So thanks for bringing that up.
And I feel like we should respond to it.
100%. I mean, I've got my own opinion on it, but Carl, what's yours?
See what he says first, Adam.
Yeah, 100%.
At the end of the day, there's a lot of people online who didn't understand what it meant, even up until, Tuesday. There was still people going, oh, it's not a derogatory term, it's not this, it's not that. And some people didn't know what it meant. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm guilty of singing it. I didn't know what it meant. I thought it meant the obvious, just whatever. But yeah,
you're going to tell me something now, or I'm going to be like, "What the fuck, aren't you?" I can. No,
I don't know. I just think it's a bit of a grey area.
Yeah, I think it is. I think you're right on that. I don't think it's one of them things you're never gonna. Not everyone's ever going to be happy about it. People are going to take the piss. It's football. People are going to take the piss. At the same time, I wouldn't want anyone who was sort of gay or whatever to feel like they couldn't go to Elland Road and watch a game.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean?
Not. Like, Jesus Christ.
That's the last thing I would ever want for anyone. You should be able to watch Leeds regardless of who you are. Yeah. It's not even a factor.
I think the fact that it's been brought up, and I think that it's on social media that there were alleged homophobic chanting, and I think now that it's out there on in social media and on the platform, I think it really should, if anything, we should all have a quick look at ourselves and make sure that we actually are as inclusive to everybody as we say we are. I don't care about anyone's sexuality. I couldn't give a fuck, if I'm honest. But,
yes, I don't care.
I think when it comes to banter, I think it's always a fine line, and somebody's always going to get fucking upset. That's what I
meant by grey area.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what I mean?
I think if from this, I think if we all, as a fan base, take a look at it and look at where we're aligned with our feelings on it. If we're outraged by that we're being accused of being homophobic, then maybe we have got a bit of a problem. But on the other hand, if like we are now, it can't be brushed under the carpet, and we should all be asking ourselves these questions. I think not just with homophobia, but with all sorts of whatever prejudices in the world. But I think we all need to take a good look at ourselves, and I think having a fact check and having it out on social media and asking ourselves, are we a homophobic fan base? Well, no, we're not. But are our actions of that nature? Does that make sense? Because if we are making chants about things about homophobia, regardless of whether it's intentional or non-intentional, we just got to be a bit aware of it. Like, we're the first people to cry when people start singing about Turkey. So let's just look at ourselves and make sure that our fucking cards are in order and we're at the best that we can.
I think that's fair, Adam. I think that's fair.
So there you go. So,
like I say, I mean, I was just like, I knew it was football banter, so it didn't offend me per se, but I can see why it would offend other people.
Yeah.
And like, I think like it's okay to say I didn't mean anything personal to anybody by it. It was just shouting at a player, being fucking stupid as you are sometimes in football. But if somebody turned around to me and said that genuinely offended me, then I would understand that, and I wouldn't be critical to them for that. I'd probably be disappointed if I found out that me taking part in something like that had upset someone. Do you know what I mean? Because players expect to get shit, and people are going to say stupid stuff, and you get caught in a moment when you're a crowd at football, don't you? And you join in with stuff, and I wouldn't ever want to actually offend somebody and make them feel like they couldn't come to Elland Road, because that would be the worst thing. Because we're a family, and everyone's welcome in that family.
100%. Well, I think it's a good thing that we're asked that even us with our little our podcast and our platform that we have. If 100 people listen to this and think, do you know what? I was offended, but I've not seen it from that point of view, or I'm not. Do you know what I mean? And we just make those conversations start happening. I think it's always worth it to be calling that out, regardless of whether it's.
I think so. I mean, at the end of the day, we're three straight white men. We've got limited experience of those kinds of adversity in our lives. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we have to take on board what other people say, because we don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when you look at it, like Robbie Rogers used to play for us. It wasn't before he ended up playing in America that he came out as gay, but he said he was always gay even when he was playing for Leeds, and he just didn't know how to do it. And it takes a brave person to come out and do that, like especially in a professional environment where it's very kind of masculine and this and that, but the environment shouldn't matter as to how you should feel as a person and be able to be accepted as a person. And it's any wonder how he didn't come out when he was at Leeds. It's just one of them. But at least he did, and he did it while he was a professional sports person, not when he was retired. And
the fact he did it while he was still playing. I mean, fucking hell, you can. You get all the jokes about gay people and all this fucking rubbish. People say stupid shit. Tell you what, he's got bigger balls than most people I know.
Yeah. Well, you've got that lad in Australia as well playing for Adelaide United. Like, he's recently come out and he's had a bit of a chat about it with, reporters and stuff. And fair play, like, you know what I mean? I think
you know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
And they do it anyway. Those are brave men.
But do you not think it's sad that we're celebrating people for being themselves? And it's a big thing.
Like, mate, we've just had November. We're all about mental health and making sure blokes are okay. And there's guys who are fucking living a lie because they're scared.
Yeah.
And that's fucking horrible.
So basically, to all our listeners, if you're in a big group of friends and, it don't matter. It doesn't matter anybody's sexuality, just fucking crack on with it. We all love Leeds. We're all football fans. Do you know what I mean? We're all human. Fucking let's have them conversations and
pink,
and let's
brown, yellow, pink,
straight,
white, whatever the fuck you are, man. If you're Leeds, you're fucking. That's the end of it. Like, and it makes no odds after that.
And if you buy me a pint, I'll be a mate. I don't give a fuck.
No one wants to be your mate, Jay, regardless.
That's very cutting, that, Carl.
Don't buy very cutting. You'll never get rid of him. He's now on our podcast.
Somebody bought me half once. I never went away.
Yeah. I don't look. On that note, lads, look, I think we've done a good 45. Well, I think we might have done about 48 minutes if Gilly hadn't cut us off the first time, like. But you know what I mean. And Jay, nice one for jumping in there, man.
Yeah, no worries, man.
Really did a solid there.
Sat there suffering.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, man. That was all good. And Adam, great to have you back, man.
Nice to see you. It's good to see you. It's good to see that beautiful face.
And there you go.
Beautiful strawberry beard.
Yeah,
there you go. It's a beauty. Remember, boys, you two have got to be doing that hot chip challenge because I'm going to win this.
No, you're fucking.
We'll see, mate. We'll see. There's something at stake now, at least.
Yeah, well, at least you've got a reason to come on the pod again, Adam. You can point and laugh, or we're going to point and laugh at you.
We want you to fuck up, yeah? Right. I'm done.
Here, lads, have a good one, all right? It was an absolute fucking pleasure having you on, as always. And I'm just going to look for a bit of something here, and I'll catch you later.